Domestic violence victims suffer in silence, feeling like they can't come forward. And this can be especially true for men in these types of relationships. ABC4's Kayla Baggerly looked into how changing the narrative will help many of them speak up and report it.
Male victims of domestic violence may feel like they can't talk about what they are going through behind closed doors. Experts say they may be afraid to reach out for help because they feel shame or are worried they will be judged.
You were just berated, belittled, put down, degraded.
1 in 2 women will experience intimate partner violence in their lifetime, and 1 in 4 men.
And those numbers could be underreported.
Men hesitate to report it simply because, we all perceive men as being these strong male folks, and if you're involved in a domestic violence, they don't want people to view them as being weak, and it's really not weak.
2 months ago, professional bull rider Demetrius Omar Latif Allen, also known as Ouncey, was killed in what police are calling a domestic violence homicide after he came to Salt Lake City to compete in the Utah State Fair.
To know Ouncey was genuinely, truly to love him.
LaShawn Denise Bagley, who police say had an on and off relationship with Allen, was arrested for investigation of murder and felony discharge of a firearm. Allen's family says that he was a great light in their lives, and the loss has been extremely difficult.
It's like I'm still in a dream, and I just want to wake up and have him back. It just doesn't seem real to refer to him in past tense.
A man who wishes to remain anonymous shared his story with ABC4 about how he felt abused emotionally and physically and controlled for over a decade of marriage.
And behind closed doors, you have no idea what can happen.
He says he constantly hoped his relationship would improve, but it did not.
And my normal became daily more and more unnormal.
He describes that he was kept away from his family and did not feel like he could tell anyone about what he was going through.
To explain what it is I'm in, I just didn't want to do it. I couldn't do it. I was shell-shocked.
And that he could never imagine he would experience what he did.
I was walking on pins and needles, on absolute broken glass. I couldn't keep my mind straight.
And eventually the abuse put him in the hospital.
She hit me so hard that it knocked the wind out of me.
The mental abuse also took its toll.
My soul was ripped from me.
But he said men may feel like they won't be believed or they might be trivialized, which is why it can be difficult for them to come forward.
When do you ever hear about that woman that screams and yells to where that man is deaf? Well, you don't.
Jennifer Campbell, the executive director with the Utah Domestic Violence Coalition, says men might feel uneasy about reporting if they're experiencing abuse due to stigmas.
Assuming that it's just one type or one area is actually really dangerous in our narrative as a community, because it limits people's understanding of what they could do to help.
She says in order to support victims of domestic violence, we need to listen and believe them.
That there are people that are here to help you. They're trained professionals that recognize that domestic violence does impact men.
More attention to it.
Salt Lake County Sheriff Rosie Rivera says we need to take a look at harmful biases that could stop men from getting the help they need.
This came up when Ouncey Mitchell was killed. I had a lot of media calling and people calling me and saying, but that doesn't happen. Men aren't victims, but men are victims.
Our anonymous source says it isn't easy to come forward, but he hopes others do, so they are able to get the support they need and to get out of the abusive relationship.
You put your foot down and say, this is enough, I've hit my brink. I can't do this anymore. Speak up about it and get out of it.
If you or someone you know may be a victim of domestic abuse, call the hotline you see on the screen behind me. Kayla Baggerly, ABC4 News.
Now, so far, no charges have been filed against LaShawn Bagley in the death of Ouncey Allen. We did reach out to the Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office for comment, but haven't yet heard back.